I have something from a Twitter account. Unfortunately, I can't say the name because it's a little bit,
Haram?
A little bit haram. So, but it relates to our discussions of kind of the posting revealing photos on Instagram, but more precisely, men not wanting their partners going out to bars and clubs and parties and whatnot. So, and you more often hear men objecting to their partners going out to nightclubs, bars, et cetera, et cetera. At least for me personally, I would not want to. I would not take a woman seriously who goes out to bars and clubs and parties. The difference is that women run passive game, and this is, I'm crediting this to let's just say LDG on Twitter. They don't approach men, but they put themselves in positions where they could be approached by men, clubs, for example. They won't DM a man, but they'll post a picture to lure him into DMing them. So this comes back to our topic of, the revealing photos, right? Mainstream media doesn't want you to know this. Men are salesmen, women are marketers. But most guys are too naive and lack the capacity for nuanced thinking to be able to identify this distinction. In a committed relationship, a man should stop pitching and a woman should stop advertising. So, fair proposition. So advertising, posting revealing photos on Instagram, going to the nightclub, bar, etc. But most men are fooled into believing that just because their woman isn't also initiating conversations with other men, that everything is good. She was never initiating conversations to begin with. That's not how she operates. We utilize different strategies to get similar outcomes. As a guy, you stopped talking to women, you gave up your edge, but she never stopped putting herself out there. That's why she already had a replacement for you after the breakup, because she never stopped marketing. She was generating leads the whole time. And then there's a bit more about, he's making an analogy when it comes to rhinos and stuff.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, yeah. Does it make sense, kind of?
I see the comparison. I get what they're getting at, and that definitely is something I see how it happens, and that's for some people. But yeah, I guess because it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. The amount I post does not change if I'm single or not. What I post doesn't change if I'm single or not, because I guess I'm not posting things to begin with that are single activity. And yes, you're saying we're advertising ourselves, but I know
Should we pull up your Instagram, Kiko?
Go for it.
All right, let's pull up Kiko's Instagram.
The worst part of my night and my friends' nights, if we do go out, when we would go out, is men approaching us. That's probably the worst
part of your nights.
I don't go out. I don't have any friends either. I won't say any.
Why do we have so many cups on the table, by the way? I'm just, Jesus Christ, why are there so many cups on the table? Fuck, okay. Sorry, continue.
I do have some friends that, are more fast, as we would call them, that will talk to men, 304, you guys would call it. But no, I'm not going out for men to talk to me. I'm going out because maybe I want to have a drink and dance and listen to some good music and talk to my friends.
Well, you have a boyfriend right now, but what about when you're single?
Yes. I don't enjoy men coming up to me and talking to me when I'm out.
How did you meet your boyfriend?
I met him when I was working.
At the bar?
At the bar I work at. I was working, though.
He approached you?
Mm-hmm.
You just said you don't like it when men do that.
I don't.
But that's how you met your current boyfriend, who you're now going to marry, or you want to marry.
Yeah.
How do you want men to approach you then?
I'm not saying, I really don't know. I don't think there's any one concise way. I guess my boyfriend, how he did it, I was working. He came up to my bar, came to me, he said, "Hey, how you doing?" He got a drink, and he was told me he found me really attractive, and he asked for my phone number. I told him I don't give out my phone number at my job, but you can have my Instagram. He sent me a message on Instagram. Hey, how about that number? I gave him my number. We started talking from there.
Wait, hold on.
Will that work for everybody? No, that won't work for everybody. He's a very attractive man, so it worked for him.
Should we have him on the podcast? Do you think he'd be down?
He would be. He would. I don't know how that will go, though.
Brian, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You know how you said that you wouldn't date a girl that goes out to clubs or bars or anything like that?
Yeah.
What about if she lives in a metropolitan city area where everything's a bar and she just eats out by herself and that's a bar setting? Do you know what I mean? I feel context matters. If you're going out to a nightclub in the middle America, that is making an effort to go out, be seen, be noticed. But if you're in New York the bar is right next to your apartment. You're gonna go there for food. You're gonna go there for like a drink, maybe by yourself. You're not necessarily putting yourself out there. It just has to do with the fact that you live in a metropolitan area. So like, I've never been to like a stereotypical like nightclub with like sparklers and all of that shit. I don't know, but like some people would consider a club like a bar that plays music and has like a small room for dancing that fits like 25 people. So like, where do you draw the line on that?
There's no such thing as restaurants.
No, but like most of the restaurants in
Yeah,
New
but
York
you're
City
saying,
are bar.
if you're in New York, you're in a metropolitan city, you must, if you have to go to a bar.
Well, yeah, because most
I've
bars
been
in
to New York. There are
you
there's restaurants.
Yeah, no, of
But you
course.
mentioned going to eat.
Like bar
Have you
food.
heard of a restaurant?
No, of course, but like
There's restaurants.
But I know, but in New York, like it's always like a bar restaurant. It's always like the same.
Is
And
it?
just sit at a table.
Is there a bar at Chipotle in New York?
Well, to be fair, I don't eat fast food, but
Right, are you-
Hold on, how dare you defame Chipotle? I demand an apology
I apologize to
to
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
You're
I
talking
guess
about
what I'm
somebody that
saying is, like,
engages in
I guess it's
partying
just the
behavior.
intent
it's
Right.
like partying
Right,
behavior.
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking
like,
about the
if she's getting,
intent.
if it's fucking 3 p.m. or I don't know, lunch.
That's what I'm saying. Right,
Lunch,
that's what
and
I'm
she
saying.
goes, and the bar happens to double as a restaurant, and she's getting food. I don't have. That's not an issue.
But that creates conflict, right? Because there is a setting where people are getting drunk, and there's like
for lunch.
it's New York.
I think this is fairly self-evident. Like Priya hit on it.
Yeah.
It's when a woman demonstrates party-like,
Yes.
like
Yes.
consistent attention-seeking, honestly, like sexualized mainly behavior, and we all know what that looks like.
Yeah,
And we
it's,
all
it's
know what
not.
that
It's
behavior
very
looks
black
like.
and white. It's not. There's not a large gray area
Yeah,
that steps in.
I disagree because like I can sit at a restaurant like that's a bar restaurant outside
Yeah, but
like
that's
by
not
myself.
engaging in partying like behavior.
Okay, I,
Well, that's why I
I
was
was in
asking
New
where the
York
line was
recently by
drawn.
myself when we were dating, and I could not find a place to eat. So I walked into a place. I was texting you. I had nowhere to eat, and it was in Times Square. And I walked
no.
in. The only spot was at the bar, so I sat at the bar. I ate my chicken, and then I left.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I was.
not-
Yeah, but that's
That's not-
that's
that,
not
that
me.
was the question, guys. That was the question about where
Yeah,
the
but
boundary
what-
is drawn.
But
Like
this
that
is
was the
like
whole
thi-
point.
But this is exactly what
Welcome
he's
to my
saying.
question.
But this is what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're just going there to get food and not getting fucked up. I just went to get food and that was it.
Yeah,
And you would
that's-
agree with
Right,
this,
but how
Brian,
do you
right?
distinguish intention?
Ryan,
Like, what if
was
you're
what
eating
I
at
did,
night?
Was what I did okay.
What
What's
time
the
of day was
intent?
it?
It was, I don't know what time of day.
I'm
it
pretty
was,
sure
actually.
dinner
No, it's
is
like-
also very acceptable. People have to eat, but if you're going out and whether it's by yourself or with a group of people, if you're out there partying with a bunch of your girlfriends, regardless, that is partying behavior. It's not black and white. If you're going to go get food, no matter what time of day it is, and you just go eat, you might have a conversation with somebody and then you leave. That's
But
not.
that doesn't. But the point is that that's still considered a bar, and men can still approach you. So like that's why I was
You're
saying.
not partaking in the bar culture.
Yes.
To be fair, when you asked that question, I was thinking more on the lines of that because I don't party, but I do go to a bar to eat bar food
Right.
and like maybe drink a
That's
margarita.
fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That's totally fine.
That's what I was
it's more
asking.
so like the intention. you
Right,
know?
that was my
Are
question.
you going out with your girlfriends, getting lit?
That's what I was saying, like, in a-
drinking,
Also,
partying.
how
like,
frequently are you
Right.
going to the bar, and
Right.
are you just posting up there by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How frequently are men approaching you there? How are you dressed when you go there? Like,
Yeah.
like these are things. Again, it's sexualizing yourself, and to quote, what is it, LDG? Like, to quote him, I don't want to say I saw it. Marketing yourself. How are you marketing yourself?
Yeah.
That's really it.